Hello, this is Dave from Net4Truth USA, Inglorious Patriots. It is May 17th, 2020. The time now is 1900 hours Eastern Standard Time here in Northeast West Bumblefuck. There are reports coming out today, and in particular, one Q drop that kind of alludes to what I've been saying since this whole thing started, is that the Kung Flu originated in a bioweapons lab in Wuhan, China. X22 Report just did a video on this, and I will put that link in the description. This post from Maria Bartiromo. Trump: we have a lot of information on Wuhan lab, and it's not good. That was posted at 10 a.m., May 17th, 2020. Okay, so at this point, it is unvetted, unverified information, but from multiple sources, including one source that has never been proven wrong, and that's Q. A lot of things that he has said have gone on a 1-year delta. In other words, happened a year later. But that remains to be seen about the information being verified. If the information that is being leaked and reported on is true, then the Republic of China, the Chinese Republic of China, has declared war and has committed acts of war against the United States of America and deserves full-scale retaliation. And if you remember, last year, the Mexican Navy intercepted 25 tons of fentanyl that was headed to the United States. And I guarantee you, 25 tons of pure fentanyl is not meant for street sale, because it could kill the population of the planet 6 times. That amount of fentanyl doesn't go unnoticed. It just doesn't. Not unless people are paid, and not unless you have some covert means of transport. And luckily for us, that shipment was intercepted. I guarantee you there's a lot of things here that are not being even mentioned by the mainstream media and even by the alternative media for fear of being deplatformed. I really don't give a shit at this point, because I got more channels than I know what to do with. And my subscribers find me wherever I go. If things should happen and you don't see a post from me in a couple of days, because I usually post every day if I can. Day before yesterday was the exception because I ate too many peanuts. I just put them out in the yard there for the squirrels to eat. Maybe the squirrels are a little bit more tolerant of peanuts than I am. But there's a lot that has yet to be revealed that we don't have any idea about. We can only speculate. Speculation and rumors are not a cause for retaliation. But when you have a pattern of behavior that can only fit together with one motive, you have to ask yourself the question. You have to ask, how are we letting these fuckers get away with this shit? I don't want to start a war with China. And China damn sure doesn't want to start a war with us. And the demon rats damn sure know that they can't take us by force because we're overwhelmed, the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, the National Guard, and whoever else they send in on it, because we are armed to the teeth. Especially here in Northeast West Bumblefuck. Julian's Rum posted, Thomas Jefferson on gun control. Quote, such laws make things worse for the assaulted and better for the assailants. They serve rather to encourage than to prevent homicides, for an unarmed man may be attacked with greater confidence than an armed man. End quote. Oh, and by the way, I went to a flea market today. I shop 2 hours from where I'm staying. And we went to a flea market today. And there was a guy there with 3 guns. A Glock, a Beretta, and a 1911 Colt. Glock here, Beretta in the back, and a 1911 Colt here. And I walked up to him. I was wearing my Beretta. And I said to him, can you shoot 3 at the same time? I says, you're not one of those guys with the toe thing, are you? And he started laughing. I guess he was a cop or something because he had handcuffs. Maybe he was, maybe I ought to carry a pair of handcuffs too, in case I need to make a citizen's arrest. In case I run into the Hildebeest, that I can place her under arrest. I won't read her Miranda. She's a non-uniformed enemy combatant. She's not entitled to rights under the Constitution or the Geneva Convention. If you know what I mean. I feel a lot better since yesterday. I drank about 4 bottles of Coke this morning and a cup of coffee. And this is the Patriot state. This is where it started. And this is where it's going to start again. And I may have been mistaken when I was on the phone with martial law a couple of days ago when I played that clip of Donald Trump saying he's going to use the military to distribute the vaccines. I haven't seen the other clips everybody was talking about where he said if it's voluntary. I haven't seen that. But voluntary or not, you ain't touching me with no needle. Not that I'm scared of needles, but I don't know what's in that shit. I ain't fucking with it. And if you try to make me fuck with it against my will, I will make you fuck with a piece of lead against your will. And that's a fact. And I'm a match shooter. I don't miss. I take headshots. I don't go for that center mass hole bullshit. I will cap you. And a lot of people that listen to this channel feel the same way. I'm a peaceful man. I'm a law-abiding citizen. But don't fuck with me, because I will bring the whole fucking thing down around your ears. Now, the judge in the General Flynn case is wanting to bring in amicus briefs on a clear case of Brady violation and malicious prosecution, like happens to a lot of people in this country that nobody knows about. The judicial system in this country is a fucking joke. Whenever you walk into a courtroom and you see those fringes, that gold fringe or yellow fringe around the flag, that is not a court of law in this country. That's maritime law. And you and I never signed up to be under maritime law, but they've got us all fooled into thinking that that thing obliges us. We have to do something drastic. First thing I would have done if I would have signed me as president, first thing I would have done is I would have signed an executive order saying I would call it the Everybody's Strapping Act. Everybody of sound mind over the age of 18 years old will get a $350 tax credit for the purchase of a firearm. And I wouldn't mandate anybody carry it, but I would highly suggest that they do, because an armed society is a much more polite and much more ordered society than when you got a bunch of armed criminals preying on helpless people and children. Because I tell you what, I'm 70 years old. You're not fucking with me. You're not fucking with me. Don't try to attempt to hold me up at the ATM. Because I will snatch your Adam's apple right out your throat and feed it to you. Then I'll shoot you. I'm a 1,000-yard stare Vietnam veteran, and I don't give a fuck. The only thing I care about is leaving this world a lot better place than when I left it. And I hope and pray that I live to see these traitors hang. That I can celebrate with my bottle of Valenzano honey wine that I'd still got in the freezer here. In the refrigerator, not the freezer. But you know what I mean. Everybody who's my age has never known what this country could be. Imagine if John F. Kennedy succeeded in what he really tried to do, is what Trump is doing now. He really tried to do what Donald Trump is doing now. The only problem, he only had two problems. First problem is he was busy chasing skirts. That was his problem. He had a big problem. It wasn't as bad as Creepy Joe, but he was right up there with him. And number two, he didn't know the depth of evil that he was dealing with. So he had two problems. And that cost him his life. And the mainstream media back then was in the demon rat's pocket. The Democrats are nothing but neo-Nazis under another name. The Nazis didn't lose the war. They moved here. And they've been here. They've been here since World War II. In fact, Prescott Bush was a Nazi. And Bush Sr. was a Nazi. They were Nazis. And they brought a whole shitload of them over here under Operation Paperclip and gave them rockets to play with. And Adolf got into a submarine and ended up in Argentina in a town that was owned by the Nazis, and everybody knew him there. Nobody said nothing. Nobody said nothing. And he died, I think, in 1969 of old age. Maybe somebody will find his grave one day, dig his ass up and do a DNA test and prove that he was in Argentina all this time. Then what do you got to say about that? Then what do you got to say about the people who write the history? But I'm very disappointed in people who won't stand up for their rights. These demons are letting criminals out of jail, or supposed criminals out of jail. I guarantee you half of them don't even belong there. They say, well, dealing drugs is a victimless crime. Really? Really? I'm an uncle to somebody who has been a victim of that. And if I ever found out who sold her those drugs, he'd be in a 50-gallon drum in the middle of the Jersey Pine Barrens somewhere feeding the cranberries. I'd put him where they'd never find him. And let me tell you something else, people. Nobody can be protected 100%. Nobody. So they want to get to you, they'll get to you. Unless you can outsmart them. And I'm here because they're trying to get to me. I know that for a fact. I knew that for 2 years already. Think I'm stupid? Anybody who even inadvertently stumbles across something that they think might expose them is a target for Arkansas. And they'll shoot you with that little pellet. The CIA has a gun that shoots frozen bullets, little pellets with rice in them, and you die of. They don't even think to look for that shit. And you say, well, you're paranoid. Yeah, well, if I'm paranoid, doesn't mean anybody ain't out to get me. Look what happened to me. I mean, 25 years of this shit that I knew about. Non-existent abandoned farmhouses, if you get my drift. And people who are trolls, they're so fucking stupid, they don't even know they've been trolled. And they're still at it. Good for me. Because when it comes out, that New York would have to be turned into a red state before that happens. And, you know, I grew up in Brooklyn, and we never had this bullshit. We didn't stand for bullshit in New York. Not in my day, anyway. But now people in New York are living on bullshit. They thrive on bullshit. They concoct bullshit, and they live by bullshit. Same in New Jersey. New Jersey was a nice place. The only reason I moved there to begin with is because I was familiar with the Jersey Pine Barrens. Been camping there all my life. But now I'm out in northeast West Bumblefuck. Going through, let's see, 1, 2, 3 repeaters. Going from one VPN to another, and a VPN. And spoofing my location so that I'm like jumping around all over the place so nobody can find me. And when I make a phone call, I make it on the dish, on the parabolic dish that's aimed at a tower that's 50 miles away. That's why when you call me, sometimes you get a really shitty signal, because there ain't nothing anywhere near here. I'm lucky I got electricity. So, be that as it may, I don't care. Because I don't need nothing else but my peace of mind. I leave everybody alone. Everybody leaves me alone. We have mutual understanding here. We're a community of patriots. We stand watch. We watch out for increasing threats coming down the road, and we can see them a mile away. And if they're not invited, they better have a good explanation for showing up. Because you're not going to outgun us, and you're not going to outrun us. Just remember this, folks. The toes you step on today may be attached to the ass that you have to kiss tomorrow. This is Dave from Net for Truth USA, Inglorious Patriots. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our backup channels, Net for Truth USA 2 Patriot channel, BitChute.com/net4Truth USA, and drop.space/ Net4Truth USA. We fly so close to the target, we are on our 5th fighter jet. We will be relentless and persistent until the enemies of freedom are defeated. You can support this channel by using the links in the description, but for a $100 donation, I will personally send you a autographed hardcover special edition copy of Land of Childhood's Fears. Also, visit my bookstore at lulu.com/Net4Truth USA. If you are viewing this video on BitChute, you can use the links in the description to support us, or simply click the green $ dot on our video to support this channel. Thank you. Links are in the description section.